But here are 5 of the books that I want to get to this fall. I was gonna say spring, that's not right. Hello there, it's Samantha. So today I'm coming to you with a seasonal video. I do one of these every season, or at least I started doing them every season this year. So I've done one for spring and one for summer, so I will link them down below in case you want to go and check them out. But essentially, I don't like to do TBRs because I find that I don't really stick to them. So instead, I do like a seasonal TBR, but I only put 5 books on there. So they're just like the top 5 books that I really want to get to during that season. During spring, I failed epically. I think I read maybe 2 of the books that I put on there. I can't really remember. And during summer, so far, I haven't been doing too well. But when I'm actually pre-filming this, so I still have time. But I don't know how it's gonna go. I have 3 books left that I haven't read yet from that video, so we'll see if it will happen. I don't know. I hope it does. They're all books that I really want to read, so yeah. But anyway, here are 5 books that I want to read this fall, or autumn if you want to be English and call it autumn. But I call it fall even though I'm not American, but it's fine. Anyway, here are 5 books I want to read this fall. The first book that I'm going to talk about hasn't actually come out yet in the UK. I think it may have come out in America beforehand? I don't know. But this book comes out in the very beginning of September. I think it's the 6th of September. And that is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I adore Victoria Schwab. I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you're new here. Maybe I haven't mentioned her in a while, to be fair. But I love Victoria Schwab so much. When I heard that she was coming out with a middle grade book, I was like, I'm gonna get on that. It's also set in Edinburgh, which I feel like is just always super rainy. So it's gonna be a good book for the fall because it's gonna rain all the time. And actually it's pouring with rain today, but it's still summer. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure what this book is about, but I'm pretty sure it's about this girl who had like a near-death experience and now she's able to communicate with the other side, and ghosts, that is. And then her parents are like ghost hunters or something, and I really don't know that much about this book, but I just saw Victoria Schwab and, you know, I just thought it sounded great. I'm a big scaredy cat, and this book sounds like it's going to be a bit creepy, but it is a middle grade book, so I think I'm going to be able to handle it. But yeah, this book seems like a perfect fall-time read because, you know, I feel like everyone, just because of Halloween, everyone just associates the entirety of fall with just this like creepy, eerie vibe. And actually my university, which I will be back at university very soon, my university is right across from a graveyard, so kind of goes along with the eerie, creepy theme. I don't love the fact that it's right across from a graveyard, but it's fine. That's the first book that I'm definitely going to be reading this fall. And also, like, along with that, this isn't the second book, this is just like a bonus book. Of course, I'm also looking forward to Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is a sequel to Vicious. I am so excited about this book, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I actually have a anticipated release video coming up soon, so I'll talk about that at some point. But just know, I will be reading this in the fall because, oh my god, I've been waiting for this sequel for like 2 years. I know some people have been waiting for way longer than that, but like for me, that's like hard to do. Like, I don't like to wait for sequels at all. So the next book that I'm hoping to read during the fall season is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I bought this book back in March because I've just heard so many people talking about this book. I know that Sarah Without an H is obsessed with this book. She did like a lookbook for it, and I think that I watched that and then I was like, okay, I just need to buy it. And I found it for a pretty good price used on Amazon, and it's like not in terrible condition. I'm not entirely sure what this book is about. The daughter of a big horror film director dies, and everyone thinks that it's suicide. However, this one investigative journalist suspects otherwise, so he starts to investigate it and like weird stuff starts happening. It's told in mixed media format, which is pretty cool. I've heard that it's not too creepy, but like that's coming from people who like watch horror movies, and I'm like, I don't even watch horror movies, so I don't know. But my sister's also interested in checking this one out, so I think I'm gonna leave it here for her to read while she's commuting to work. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get to this, but hopefully in October. That would be like the perfect time for it because, as I just said, I can't deal with horror films, but maybe like a creepy book in October could be alright. I don't know. It's supposed to be a thriller, not a horror, so hopefully I can deal, but I'm a wimp. The next book that I want to read in the fall season probably seems like a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure like what sort of time of year this book takes place, but I've never read this book. It's a travesty. I should have read this book years ago, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I only actually got this book last year. I did a book trade with my best friend Yasmin, and she had 2 copies of this book, so we traded. I don't know why I haven't read this book. I really like historical fiction, so I've been meaning to read more historical fiction for years, and I don't know why I haven't got to this yet, but I know that everyone always goes on about how great it is. I know this is a lot of people's like favorite books of all time, and I just haven't picked it up yet, and it's a travesty. But yeah, I think I would like to pick this one up in the fall time because I know it's gonna be a sad one, and I think historical fiction is just really good to read during the fall season. I don't know why, but I just get like fall vibes from historical fiction. I feel like fall is like time for historical fiction books and fantasy books. I feel like in this beginning half of the year, I read a lot of I read dystopian books, I read sci-fi, and I read a lot of contemporary. And I feel like this second half of the year, I'm going for more fantasy historical fiction vibes. On that same theme of historical fiction, I also really want to finally get to The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. This was in my predicted 5-star TBR video, so I think I'm gonna love this book. It is like a historical fiction fantasy book. It's set in the 1800s in London, and it follows this girl who is like being trained to be a lady. They're like demons. I'm definitely getting some like Infernal Devices vibes from this because, you know, that's set in a historical setting and there's demons and demon fighting. So I'm really excited to read this book. And also I have the sequel, so if I want, I can just continue straight on with the sequel. But yeah, I just think this is going to be a good fall-time book. The last book I'm going to talk about is one that I should have read over the summer, but I haven't. I was literally so excited for it. I had it on pre-order. I've been dying to read it, but I just haven't got to it. And that's because I know that I'm going to have to wait a long time for the next book. And that is A Reaper at the Gates by Salva Tahir. I love this series so much. It's the third book in the An Ember in the Ashes series. I loved An Ember in the Ashes. I read it back in 2016, and then I read A Torch Against the Night earlier this year. I have had this book since it came out in June, and I haven't got to it, and I'm devastated. So this is definitely a book that I'm going to get to when I'm back at university. I also read A Torch Against the Night in about 3 days. I don't know why I haven't picked this up. It's gonna take me like, you know, 3 or 4 days to read, hopefully. So yeah, I need to get to this as soon as possible. So here are 5 of the books that I want to get to during the fall season. Please let me know what books you're looking forward to reading in this season down below. Let me know what your favorite genre to read during this season is. I feel like a lot of people gravitate towards fantasy during the fall, just because a lot of contemporaries are like summery, so I don't know. But anyway, that is all that I have for today's video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please get a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below. You can also click on the bell icon and you'll get notifications every time I post. And I upload on Fridays, so I will see you next Friday with another video. Bye!